Today, Kevin is going to be making sausage and hash brown casserole. This is from Magnolia Table, a collection of recipes for gathering, Joanna Gaines. This is the first cookbook, her first Magnolia Table cookbook. Volume 1, yes. So Kevin's going to tell us everything we're going to need.
So you need vegetable oil spray just to spray your pan. You need like a big, we call it lasagna pan is what we call it.
Let me set it to the side.
Yeah, you can take it over there because we won't need it for a minute. Okay, so you need a pound of sausage. We buy the Tennessee Pride mild sausage. You're gonna cook that up. We need a tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil. It's as needed, I'll tell you about that in a minute. 1 small white onion cut into, just dice it. 1 32-ounce container of frozen diced hash browns, so we just get the oil out of. 8 large eggs. 1 cup of heavy cream. A half cup of milk. I think you got them backwards, but that's okay.
Oh, yep.
Heavy cream.
You're right.
And milk.
That's heavy cream and that is milk. You're right. I showed them in the wrong order.
And then we've got the seasonings we need all in just one container. So we've got a teaspoon of garlic powder, a half teaspoon of sweet paprika. We have smoked paprika. A pinch of ground sage, a teaspoon of kosher salt, a half teaspoon of ground pepper, 2 cups of sharp cheddar cheese grated. It's about 8 ounces of cheese, so a 2-cup bag. And then a half cup of minced chives. So that's this right here. So first thing you want to do is you want to brown your sausage. That's your very first step. Okay, the sausage is done, so I'm just going to transfer it over to a plate with a paper towel on it. It's not just a paper towel laying on the counter. And there's not a lot of oil in here. That's what I was saying about the olive oil. If you have a ton of grease in here, then you won't have to add much oil to it, if at all. Since mine doesn't have a lot of oil in the bottom, I'm going to use the olive oil. You can see it's really didn't really leave a whole lot of oil there. So you wouldn't have enough oil to make your potatoes and stuff if you didn't take it off there. So now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn my burner back on medium high. Medium for me, medium high. Put my olive oil in there. And then I'm going to get my onions. And we're going to saute these until they're translucent. So probably take about 5 minutes or so, not very long. Okay, so the onions have not quite gotten translucent, but they're pretty good. They're getting tender. So I'm gonna go ahead and dump my potatoes right here on top of them. And stir up really good. What I usually do is make sure you get the onions and kind of flip them so they're not just onions laying on the bottom, because they tend to burn if you do that. So I'm gonna stir these regularly and cook them. It says about 8 minutes, but it really just depends on the potatoes and how hot your pan is and stuff. Basically until your potatoes are tender, that's when they're done. So while these are cooking, make sure you turn your oven on to 375 because you want it to be ready to go. Because once these are done, you're pretty much ready to start baking them. So just preheat your oven. Okay, so my potatoes are done. They're good and tender. So you're just gonna dump your sausage in here and remove it from the heat. But you wanna dump your sausage in here just so you can stir it up really good, that's why. Because you're not gonna have the opportunity to really stir it up in the bowl. So just kind of move it around a little bit. Get your sausage and your potatoes mixed in. And me, I turn the heat off, so it's removed from the heat. But I'm gonna just leave it on the burner. It won't hurt anything, and if anything, it'll heat the sausage back up a little bit. So I don't think it's gonna hurt anything at all. So now we wanna move over to our eggs. So I'm gonna take my eggs, and I'm just gonna whisk them up really quick. And I'm gonna put my buttermilk, my heavy cream. And my half cup of milk in here, as well as my seasonings. Now I'm gonna get my cheese in there. I'm also going to put, we have a lot of chives. We just basically chopped up what we had left. So you're only supposed to have 1/4 of a cup. So I'm just going to put some in the actual, that's good. I'm going to put some in the mix as well because I think it'll just add some color to it. So now you want to add your sausage and your potato mixture. Remove my, yeah, and I probably don't want it to whisk for this part. I'm going to just give this a quick mix, and then I'm going to pour it into that casserole dish that's already been sprayed with cooking spray. The rest of the chives, like I said, you hold off on them. You don't put them on until after it's baked. So it's going to bake in the oven. It's set for 45 minutes. So that's how long we're going to put it in there. Okay, so here it is out of the oven. It was perfect on 45 minutes. It does mention, I'm gonna just take these chives and sprinkle it over the top. That's what I'm gonna do while I'm talking to you. It did mention that if the top starts browning early, so you might wanna keep an eye on it, to put some aluminum foil on it to keep it from burning. Ours didn't do that. Ours, you see, it turned a perfect brown, really, if you ask me.
So Kevin is having me cut it because
She's the expert slicer.
yeah, he says that.
Besides, if it messes up, she can blame herself. Didn't stick too bad. Looks good. Oh yeah. Boy,
there we go. So Joanna says, this savory southern casserole contains all the fixings for a classic breakfast of eggs, sausage, and hash browns in a single dish, which makes it great for feeding a crowd. Serve it with fresh tomato salsa for extra bright color and flavor. So she does give you a recipe for fresh tomato salsa. However, I like to do things the easy way. So we have
a jar.
Paste chunky salsa. This is medium. We figured we'd try it without though first and then try it with salsa. I can honestly say I've never in my life had hash browns with salsa. So this will be a first.
A lot of people eat eggs with salsa and ketchup and any tomato-based thing. I like the texture of that. How do you feel about the texture of that?
I like it very much.
Oh.
He's asking me that because I do not like mashed potatoes.
Or baked potatoes.
No, but I do
but
like...
this reminds me a lot of the texture of kind of a baked potato kind of texture.
I do like, though, like potato skins. I love potato skins.
And you like hash brown casserole.
And I like hash brown casserole. But I don't want a baked potato or a mashed potato. A lot of the times, though, when you make a baked potato, by the time you get done putting all your stuff in it, you may as well mash it in the skin.
Maybe.
You mash it with the butter that he and Ashley put in their baked potatoes. I'm telling you,
like
it's basically mashed potato in the skin. That's what it looks like. No, thank you.
I like mine to swim in butter.
I think what makes a huge difference for me is that this has the sausage in it.
Yeah, sausage adds a lot of flavor.
I love, yeah. And you could buy, if you didn't want it, like we use just regular mild sausage, you could do whatever, like they sell sausage with like sage or whatever, you could do that. How do you feel about that?
It's good. I like it with the
You
sausage.
like it?
Yeah, it's actually really good. I didn't get a huge hunk of it, but I did get some.
I love salsa, so... Yeah, I'm
but
just
it adds
gonna
a nice,
get a little one, so.
oh, you'll like it. It's a nice flavor. And this sausage, that salsa has a little spice to it. So it adds a little kick to the whole thing. So it was a good suggestion.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a huge difference.
I really do like that.
Because I was going to say, before you mentioned the salsa,
right.
I was going to say you could put some jalapenos chopped up in the actual dish itself.
Mm-hmm.
You could put peppers or jalapenos or something like that in there and really add a lot of flavor. But the salsa adds that pepper flavor and a little burst of like the tomato and stuff.
Because it's a medium, it's not mild. For us, I think we both like that heat level. It gives a little kick
to it. Yeah.
But if you just buy the mild salsa, you're still going to get that tomato flavor.
Mm-hmm. And a little bit of pepper.
And it's really nice. You know what? I like it with or without.
Mm-hmm.
Without the salsa, you really do get the potato
and the sausage and the eggs.
Yes.
The eggs is a minor part, by the way.
I think for me, it's mainly potato first,
mm-hmm.
sausage second,
and
then probably cheese.
Yeah.
But I really like this.
Yeah, it's really good. And we didn't add any salt or pepper or anything to it. It
No.
just came right out of the pan.
Because that's something that ordinarily I would add salt and pepper to it, to like hash browns. This, I think it's perfect the way it is.
Especially if you eat with the salsa, you don't need it.
Yeah. And this, you don't have to, she mentioned breakfast. This could be dinner. For us, just in all honesty, this is our dinner. So we did not make this for breakfast. It's dinner. But I like the little, we usually, for our hash brown casserole, we buy the shredded hash browns. This one called for the diced. And I really like them quite a bit.
It wouldn't go with the hash brown casserole that I make with Yosa because it's too big.
Yes.
But it works perfect for this because it's a little chunkier.
Yes, I like this. So it says it serves 10 to 12. I guess it just depends on how big you cut it. You saw how big we cut ours. But this will make a really nice meal for us. But I hope you enjoyed the video and thanks for watching.